John Heilemann is managing editor of Bloomberg Politics. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so this Cruz-Kasich gambit, too little, too late, or will it work?
The alliance.
The alliance.
It's an act of a little bit of panic, a little bit of a sense that the door is closing, the window is closing.
At long last, they're panicked.
The runway's long last, they're panicked. Yes, the runway is now shortened to the point where everyone's going, oh my God. So will it work? The key thing here is this is all about Indiana. Where basically the anti-Trump forces have come to the conclusion that if Trump wins these 5 contests tomorrow, as we expect him to, and then he goes to Indiana and wins in Indiana, he will basically be unstoppable. And so the motivating factor in this alliance is Ted Cruz realizing that if they didn't get Kasich to stop campaigning in Indiana, that Trump was likely to beat Cruz in Indiana, and it's going to be very close there. So Cruz essentially said, the Cruz people essentially said to the Kasich people, if we lose Indiana, we're doomed. I'm the only one who can beat Cruz here. Please stop campaigning. Now, you've seen yesterday already Kasich saying,
there's some cracks.
Kasich basically saying, well, I'm not telling my voters not to vote for me in Indiana. I mean, this is not that big a deal. And so the whole thing has a little bit of a slapdash feel to it.
And how do you know that Kasich voters are going to vote for Cruz?
Well, you don't. I mean, you really don't. And really, the whole point, I think, is not so much to change anyone's mind who is committed to vote to Kasich, because they probably will still vote for Kasich. But there's a still undecided vote there. And the question was also about signaling the anti-Trump super PACs about what to do with their money in Indiana. So focus on propping up Cruz, maybe attack Kasich a little bit, try to depress Kasich's vote a little bit, and move all that undecided vote into Cruz's column rather than splitting it between Cruz and Kasich. Again, it's a very thin margin they're playing with here, right? Because Trump's about 40% in Indiana now. So if he gets another 3-4 points, he's likely to win under any circumstances.
Is Paul Manafort making a difference in terms of Donald Trump's image with other Republican leaders?
Look,
he said that with a straight face, too, John.
Paul Manafort went down to that RNC meeting in Florida last week and said Donald Trump is going to be different. He's going to be presidential. He's going to be a different guy.
And now he's making fun of Kasich stuffing pancakes.
Yes, and Trump is out there, with talking about Lion Ted and 1 for 38 Kasich, and
but
it's
he
pathetic.
Also said this was all an act.
Yes, indeed. Yes, look, I think there's some element of what Manafort is beginning to kind of telegraph to a lot of Republican establishmentarians is, all that talk about the wall, the Mexican rapists, the Muslim ban, all that stuff, that's all going to go away this summer, which is a really, really, really cynical point of view, and yet it could be true.
And it could turn away some of his
original support. It could, but I think, look, I think Trump understands he's going to have to pivot to the center in a general election, and Manafort is just kind of exposing that in an unusually frank way.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Always good to see you.